Where's the tilt? There's the tilt. And that, just don't look at that. That's okay. We just keep ignoring that. Gentlemen, welcome back. We are going to start tearing down and getting ready to fix this lower unit. Well, fix the crack in the lower unit. I don't have the seals yet, but we are going to start tearing this down and yeah, hopefully fix that crack. Get her back together. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the screw doesn't want to come out of there. That fell down. Too much junk on the bench. Nobody ever cleans around here. I yell at night shift all the time. Clean up after yourselves, but nobody ever does it. We've got to get... There's another gear up inside of here, plus the shaft. So I think... Put that on that nut down in there. Yeah, come see. Get in here. Come, you guys. Come in here. So, I don't know if you can see, there's that nut on that shaft. I'm just putting this wrench on that nut. And this is not the recommended way to do this, but I don't follow recommendations very often. I'm going to put a pipe wrench on the middle of the shaft where no bearings or anything riding, nothing interferes with anything. Well, can a guy just get this to work? Oh, there we go. I believe these nuts on these shaft gears, or on this input shaft gear, it's supposed to be a one-time use. I forget, is that a taper on there or not? I'm gonna have to get these nuts off that bearing carrier on the top. Have to pull this out to replace the seal in it anyhow. Guess you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm pulling this bearing cap or seal cover deal with jigger my thing out. Oh, it's just stuck on there pretty good as all. There we go. Yeah, that just holds the upper seal and the O-ring. That as well has glue on it, RVT, RTV. So I'm thinking that gear must have a taper to it. Let's see if this works to push on that. There we go. Yep, there is a slight taper on the bottom. So that gear, where is it? There it is. Alright, so that gear has a taper in it and a splined end. So that goes over this end of the shaft like that. Then that nut goes on the end of that. So it uses that taper and the splines both. Huh. Pretty neat. This is a helix like cut in here. This is a spiral. That's for pumping oil up as it's running. It pumps oil up and into this bearing. It's a bearing race, this upper bearing. And there should be another bearing down in there. Yeah, needle bearing. That one, that needle bearing is pressed in there. Am I gonna get that out? Should I get that out? It's not super close to where I'm gonna be welding. It's a plastic sleeve. That's where that helix on that shaft rides inside of. Oh yes. And I can pull this gear out of here now. There's the forward gear and the forward bearing. I actually don't know if that is the name of it. Sorry, I'm saying this stuff like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I'll lose that washer. That stays in there. Which one would this be? Would this be forward gear or reverse gear? So you got the prop shaft. The prop goes on here. These are the splines. You have 2 gears here. You can see this one isn't engaged on the shaft right now. This one is. That's because of this dog in the middle. This dog gets moved when you push or shift it in the gear. It pushes on this plunger. You can see it moves that dog back and forth. So I don't know if that would be forward or reverse. I don't actually know which gear gets driven for forward and reverse. So it'd push that dog over, going into one gear, would engage this gear. And right now it is pushed all the way back this way, so it's engaged on this gear. Oh, it's camming that way, so I'd be driving that. Would that be forward? That would be, yes, forward. Okay, I guess this is the forward gear. This is the shaft that comes down from the motor. It has this little gear on it. I'll put that nut on there just so that gear doesn't fall off. That sits in between these two. And you can see when this motor is running and turning, it's turning one gear one way and this other gear the other way. So depending on where you shift that dog clutch in the middle, this dog gear will engage the prop shaft to whatever gear you're selecting. Like I said, right now it's engaged on this forward gear. So with the motor turning, it would be driving the prop shaft forward, obviously. If you pushed on the gear selector the other way, you pull back on the controls or whatever, it would push this dog clutch over and engage into this gear, which then it would motor shaft, still turning the same way, would engage this other gear and turn the prop shaft backwards. That's what makes you go backwards in the water. Hopefully you guys can't see down in there, but this is that shift rod that goes down in there. And all that does is there's like a plunger on the bottom. And that plunger has a ramp in it. So depending how far you push this down or pull it up, pushy dealio on the back of the prop shaft gets pushed in or out, moving that dog clutch back and forth. New Glarus Oktoberfest. That's fresh. All right, now this crack. We have to open this crack up a lot. So this, you cannot see this because I can barely see it. That crack starts here and ends here visibly on this outside. A crack like this goes way further than what you can actually see. So I'm going to clean up this whole area here. That's another, I did order paint as well. And it's supposed to be the correct paint for this year and stuff. And after all this, we'll try and make it look nice too. I'm going to take a deburr tool, open up that crack. You guys looking at what I'm looking at now? Ish. I'm just going to drill a little hole right at the end of this crack. Yeah, it should be right about there. Yeah, we are just about there. Yeah, that's right at the end of the crack. There's like maybe, I think I'm gonna stop there. There's like not even a 1/16 of an inch left material. That'll be good. Grab a fresh brush here. Non-chlorinated brake cleaner for welding. All right, now, before I do any actual welding, before I do any actual welding, I'm just going to go over with a TIG torch and heat up this metal a few times and get it a little bit molten just to bring the impurities up. This is cast aluminum. Cast aluminum is very porous, and being that it's in contact with oil and stuff, and because especially there's that crack in there, it's going to be totally contaminated with oils and just junk and everything. So I go over with the torch, bring all those impurities to the surface, wire brush it, clean it up, go over it again, bring the impurities up, brush it, and repeat until it is fairly clean before actually putting any filler metal in here. So let's see what happens. Also, melting it like this, you can see instantly where that crack is. It basically highlights it like it's... You see how black that is in the middle of there? And you can actually see... Oh no, you guys can't see. You're too far away. There's a white line down the middle of that black crack. Or down that black, that's where that crack is. So wire brush those impurities out of there. Clean it up again. And I'll do that again. My first actual pass on here with the TIG torch, and you guys can see that crack in there and again. All I'm gonna do is just melt these two pieces, two sides together. I'm not gonna add any filler on the very first pass of actually melting this together. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's see how it looks now. I might melt it together this pass, we'll see. A lot of it is pretty dirty yet. It is still pretty dirty down in here. I think I'm actually going to go through with that burr bit, get some of this bad aluminum out. See how that does. That looks quite a bit better. That's not too bad. I'm gonna add a little bit of filler this time. We'll start where this hole is, dab and get that filled in, and then we'll do a pass over the whole thing. When you start melting the metal, when you're going with that TIG torch, how if there's a crack, the two sides of the crack, that metal will actually like pull away from it, the other side, and that crack opens right up. All right, well, it's still warm. We're gonna make this last pass here. Well, maybe a last pass. We're gonna see how this one goes. That looked pretty good. Where's my... I'm not trying to actually heat it here. I'm trying to just keep it warm so it comes down slowly. The heat is super centered where that weld is right now. And I want that heat to dissipate slowly through the whole piece. Otherwise, it's cold all the way around this weld. You do a hot weld like that with that heat centralized in that weld, then you just let it go. All this cold metal out here will suck that heat out of that weld and actually pull it apart and make a crack. Pretty decent weld. There's a little bit of porosity on the very edge of the weld. That's because of the cast. Like I said, it's porous, and you get into that and you're kind of chasing your tail here. At some point you got to have an edge into the cast on your weld, and there is going to be some porosity in some spots. There's just not a lot you can do about it. Good start. too bad. Good enough for the girls that follow me around. Down, and now I started to work on this skeg because I want to, since we're here, might as well just finish this off, make a skeg again. I'm going to go to the bandsaw quick. I'm just going to cut this off so it's straight. There, skeg's fixed. No damage. I don't know what he's talking about. And the new damage is good. It's good. Same thickness. I think so. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Well, it looks like a skeg. Actually, kind of looks like a skeg. I'm going to cut that tab off and we'll work from that. What? No. What? Like that. Doesn't matter. So typically you want the skeg to clear the bottom of the prop. Let's take a measurement on the prop here. Prop is 7 inches to the bottom. So out of the center of the prop, 7 inches. So yeah, I mean, there isn't much we needed here. Just a little bit. Get the 8 inches here, I think will be good. Like that. That kind of looks like a skeg, doesn't it? That looks like a skeg. We're going to make that a skeg. We're going to call it a skeg. No one will ever know. No one will know. No one will ever can know. Never going to know. Look at that. No one will ever can know. There we go. Brake cleaner again. Clean that up, clean this up. Alright, this is pitted up here. Too much for paint to fill in, so we're going to give her a little squeeze of this red stuff. Says it's for filling in. Well, it did say stuff until it all fell off. What's for this? It says it fills in scratches and pits and stuff that people did wrong. Oh, that's drying in a hurry. All right. Not trying to get too carried away here. I'm just trying to make it so it's going to be smoothish. Pretty heavy on the ish. Pretty neat stuff. I never actually used that stuff before. Been saving it for a special occasion. You guys are pretty special. So. But what is this? I don't know, but it's 8%. Oh, it's not bad. All right. Gaskets came in. This is 4 or 5 days later. I don't know. So OEM Bombard Evinrude gasket set, and paint came in. Evinrude Johnson Genuine in a can. I've been doing some thinking about this. I'm going to get you guys in here so you can see where the weld came through on the inside here. I had thoughts about setting this up in the mill, getting it dialed in to that bore way down in there. That bore's 7 inches down in there. It would take a bit setting this up, but I mean, I could do it. But I do not want to take off. I just want to knock off what's there where the weld came through. What is that? Oh, there's some cans rolling around. Got some, I don't know. Yeah, I do not want to take off, what was I talking about? What am I doing here? I just want to take off the weld that came through on the inside of this bore. I do not want to take off any more of that inside diameter of where that bearing carrier sits. This part. Where I'm talking about is where it would sit right here, where this O-ring is, and there. Because if I take off too much of that inside, I mean, dial in on the mill, it shouldn't, but if I do, even a couple of thousandths, that's going to loosen this up, and this is going to want to like walk around in there. And this holds that prop shaft in place, but besides that, it holds both of the bearings. It holds all this in place as well. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with that carrier. So what I was talking about is I was doing a lot of thinking about it, and I think what I'm going to do with that weld that came through on the inside here, I think I'm just going to take the die grinder and slowly work it and work that weld back down to the original surface. It's not going to be perfect, but it's only going to be in a little spot that big. I'll put a little dab of RTV, RVT, in the gray silicone glue in a can, glue in a tube, glue tube. I'll put a little dab of that where I do that grinding. So when I set that carrier in there, it'll seal up in that one spot. The rest of it will be OEM yet, and it should seal up no problem. Like I said, I just don't want to oversize that any little bit at all, and it's going to be hard. You're not, once there's a boring head and everything down in here on the mill, you're not going to see what's going on down in there. You're just going to be pulling down on the mill, boring that out, pulling it out, and then looking down in there and be like, oops, it's 10 thousandths over, and the whole lower unit's shot. Right there is where you can see where that weld poked through, and it's just in that one little spot. So you can see. So if I take the die grinder and just work it there a little bit, that's the only little spot that's going to be potentially messed up. And like I said, I will take a little bit RVT, and like I said, just put a little dab there and it'll seal up. Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh, another thing. We have plans to take this pontoon out on the water tomorrow because it is supposed to be like 76 degrees. So yeah, that's great. I'm sure it'll be done, guaranteed. Yeah, there's hardly anything to do here. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. What did I get myself into? No one would be disappointed. I'm going to use this long, pokey, spinny. Are you guys looking at what I'm working on here? Yeah, close enough. So this long deburring bit, poker, so I can kind of get in there. We'll see. You guys aren't going to be able to see what I'm doing, but you can try and watch. Oh yeah. Here we go. Can't see nothing. Where's my flashlight? Yeah, we're good there. Way too much. That's okay. I think that's pretty good. A little bit different bit. There's a lip in there that I gotta get straightened up. We're gonna use this one. Hopefully this will work out. Little sandy action, smooth this out a little bit. Wow. Just can't see nothing. What? You know, I can't see what I'm doing down there until I stop. Oh yeah, it feels factory. It's good. Vacuum, spray, brake cleaner, metal shavings everywhere. Lots of cleaning to go on in here. More cleany. Sorry you guys can't see down in here. I can't either, so don't feel bad. I'm just feeling around. Like a doctor doing a prostate exam. You know, you just stick it in there and see what you feel. Oh yeah. Oh. What is that? And since we're making a mess in here, might as well clean up these threads that are all hoovered up. I feel like I need one of those disclaimers at the beginning of my videos that says, don't do what I do. Get in here, take a look at this. Tell me what you think. Can you see? Look at, that's not bad, right? Look how clean that is. And then there, you can see it's not 100% yeah, that's factory. That is perfect. She is good. Nice and clean. Mr. Clean. And pull this plate for the shifter and stuff. Replace these seals because we have them. Mazel, right? Oh, careful. And what is that? Is that a magnet? I think that's a magnet. Sure enough. Just hanging out in there. Well, how are you supposed to get that seal out of there? Typically, they put the magnets on the fill plug so you're able to pull it out and clean it and stick it back in, but this one is on the shift shaft. The last piece that you would pull out of this lower unit. I guess they figured, maybe they don't want you seeing all the metal coming out of the lower unit. Like just hide that away. This is where that pin rides on the end of the prop shaft. And then you can see, like, when you push this up or down, this is the shift shaft. That pin rides up on these different ledges, and that's what engages forward or reverse or neutral, depending on where you go with it. Neutral is right in the middle there, I assume. Down or here, I assume would be forward. And then back up on this ledge, if you go all the way up to here, that would be reverse. So it seems like they don't trust their own O-rings, and they put glue on it. So ultra gray gasket maker, high torques. Okay, let's have some. Oh yeah, I like that. All the way. Oop, bigger pocket in there. That's how they get you. I think you're getting a full tube RTV, and nope, looks like potato chips. It's like half air. Get that all the way around. There we go. Put this O-ring in that mess. Oh yeah, Yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah, there we go. Get off of me. Alright, so how did this go in there? It went in like that. This has to face that way. Like that. Can't see nothing down there. Like that. There. Click. 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 Torque to spec. Perfect. That's done. This gear goes down and I don't want to just drop it, but now you gotta get that main motor shaft in. This plastic sleeve that's gotta go up in here, just like that. I said this shaft goes in like that. Get this gear on, make sure that taper is perfectly clean. I'll put a drop of red Loctite on this nut just because. Just a drop will do ya. There's one thing you do not want coming off is this nut. Ow. Don't get your fingers caught in the gears. I ain't that's tight enough. Yeah. Alright, up here we have this tube. This tube goes right here. Just like that. So we got bearing race. We got a tapered bearing in there. And we got a shim that goes back in there. And this seal carrier, this goes on the top. There's actually, I don't know if you guys can see, 2 seals in here, one on top of another, and an O-ring on the outside. And yeah, I have an O-ring and I got 2 new seals. I was wondering why there were so many seals for one shaft. It seemed like they're facing the wrong way. That's strange to me. Okay, so these seals, this is the oil side, and the lip, typically this lip with the spring faces the oil side, so it should be facing out this way, but they're facing in like this. What? Never just automatically assume that how things come apart is right, especially when somebody else has been in it. Aha. Okay, so yes, those seals were wrong, depending on who put it in. Let's see if you guys can see. You're not going to be able to read this, but right here it says install new seals back to back and bearing housing. Metal casing and seals before installing. But then, where is this one? The bearing carrier for the prop shaft. Where did it say? Install the inner seal with lip facing toward the bearing housing, then the outer seal with lip facing away from the bearing housing. So they're talking about bearing the seals. When those seals came out of this housing, they were both facing in or out, both like that. So one seal is on top of each other, facing out like that. They're saying these are the backs of the seals. They're saying these seals are supposed to be installed back to back. So one lip is facing inward towards the oil, the other lip is facing outward towards the water, back to back. So these seals were installed wrong. I'm curious when we get this other one apart if those are installed wrong as well. We'll get there soon. I had to oil these up and get these in. So this first one, I got to oil up this outside. This first one, this lip with the spring on it is going to face inward. So when it's in there, you see the back of the bearing, or the seal retainer. So then this one is going to get installed this way. So the lip and the spring is facing out towards you like that. I was just lightly tapping on that. So now you can see that lip with that seal. So one lip is facing this way and one lip is facing this way with those two seals. That was wrong from the factory, or whoever did it, or what. Somebody did something wrong there. Then I just take a little bit of grease and put it in between those two. Lubrication and help seal them up. They like that stuff. Here again, they call for sealant. Where this outside O-ring goes. O-ring on. I don't know what they're relying on more here, the O-ring or the sealant to seal this up. You see there's a hole. That's a drain back hole. And there is a hole in this housing. You guys can't see it, but you got to make sure that that hole is facing the hole that's in the housing here. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah. And since we got the book open, what does it say for torque? 168 to 192 inch-pounds, or 19 to 22 Newton meters. So like about 168 would be like 10 foot-pounds. And click. We are doing good. I am really proud of us. Little dab of grease. And now it'll stay in there. New gasket. Let's go this way, this way. Yeah, that looks right. Nice. Somebody was mentioning on the disassembly video that why wouldn't you replace this water pump? Why you got it apart here? And most times you would. I've seen tons of these water pumps over my life, especially we got boats that we use for work and stuff on the Wisconsin River. It is just all sand. So I see pumps get tore up all the time. And everything in here, this base plate, this housing in here, the impeller, everything looks like basically brand new. Everything is flexible and nice yet. This has been replaced very recently, probably when whoever had this apart had it apart, replaced all these parts. So I am not worried one bit about this water pump. Little shot of stuff just to give it some lube so I can turn this, get this lined up. So I got that keyway facing forward. So watch, line up that keyway. Just like that. And we're on. This is just chain lube. Oh no. Oh, it went right down. I got it. The chain lube, just something for the threads on these bolts. So that lube will sit in there. That's a blind hole. Those holes don't go through. That lube will sit in there. That aluminum from oxidizing inside of there and sticking to the threads, ruining the bolts. Clack. All right, we got to clean up this carrier. Get this O-ring off of here. These seals were right. You can see they're still glued together. So this was facing the water side. You can see that spring in there. And then you flip it around, and this was facing inwards. There's that spring facing the oil side. You can see these are glued together yet, so I didn't do nothing to that. Yeah, back to back. That's how the seals are supposed to go in. So why that input shaft one was wrong, who knows. I got the carrier cleaned up. Well, in the important parts, I didn't clean in here because that doesn't matter. Just the sealing surfaces and mating surfaces where stuff matters. Let's get these seals in here, back to back. Don't forget, If you're using sockets to drive your seals, make sure your socket comes really close to this outside edge. Find as big a socket as possible, because if you press on just this inner side, it'll actually concave, bend that seal in. You want to push on this outside edge as close as possible to the outside edge. Same thing, a little dab of grease in between. Just for some lube. Everything likes lube. Nobody likes it dry. Dry is bad. Grease. There. Now she's stuck. Drop this in. Just like that. How does this go? I believe it gets dropped in. There's this little notch. I think there's like a slot down in the bottom here. I think that gets lined up with that slot. Oh, some more of this OMC spec sealant. So that goes in like that. We want to make sure this side right here, this is where the work was done, is heavy. You want to make sure that's going to seal up good. New O-ring, which I have no idea what that does when you got this full of RVT, but there's that. We don't want to get the RVT on this side. Out here is fine. This will all get blown out on the prop side, but you don't want it on the bearing side. That's bad. It's weird to me that there isn't like some kind of slot or something that this doesn't slide into, so it just goes in and, oh, okay. Oh yeah, just like this. Just like that. And you get it down far enough so I can get that nut started. That's going. Which one? I'll just help that. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta find a very specific tool you gotta use for that. It's a spanner wrench. Make sure you use the right tool for driving these on, otherwise you can cause problems. Yeah, I mean, whatever that little bit is, I think that's just end play. So you just gotta bend these tabs up to lock that in. Don't need much to do that. And that is all set in. Turn the shaft. Got neutral. Push this down. We got whatever direction that is. There's up. So then that goes, yeah, the other way. Back to neutralis. And nothing, yeah. There we go. Lower units back together. Let's clean it up, sand out this outside, and we do it the, what do they say, the Craigslist rebuild up. And she will be like brand new stuff. Got to sand on that a little bit. All right, we're out here in my paint booth. Is this a single stage? The surface must be clean, dry. 70 and 90 degrees? Sure. Spray, get the tension on me. Extremely flammable. Yeah, okay. Is it the right color? Oh. Wow, I'll be dipped. Look at us go. Rebuilding the lower end. Look at new skeg. Yep. New gears, new bearings. Eight to 10 inches? Yeah, sure. New seals, gaskets, complete rebuild. Oh, that paint actually matches really well. I am surprised. How do I get the other side? I'm gonna take this up. Oh my God, it doesn't get lighter. Careful. Figured I might as well shoot a little clear on it too, just to give it a little sheen. I think the straw broke off or something inside of this can, Rust-Oleum, top quality. So we gotta hold it upside down and psh, psh. Awesome.
Can you please tell me if this is a wood tick?
This isn't light. Yeah, that's wood tick.
Oh my, what do I do with it?
So we're just gonna throw this in while it's still wet. Paint's still wet, because why not? I put on, well, I greased the shaft and put on that O-ring. That O-ring was missing when I pulled this apart, but anymore. There we go. But that seemed to go on way easier than what I thought it was going to be. Alright, we got to get some oil in here. Just ignore that again. That water coming out, it rained last night. This morning sometime. You can't even see what's happening. Let's put you back here. Now you can't see better. Motor in upright position. Pull this top screw out. Well, there was air pressure in there. Yeah, it must be the seals are good. I was wondering what those plastic washers were for in that seal kit. It's for these plugs. It's all making sense now. You gotta pull this lower one out. There, that's ready to go in. Both plugs are out. I picked up this Imsoil marine grade. That's the real stuff this was only like $1 more, so they say it's more better. There's a picture of a boat on it and stuff. Well, there's no seal in there. Probably what comes on. And I picked up one of these pumpulators because Well, that doesn't fit in the holes. And this, I don't know, how does this work? Put that in there, like that, there, and then that doesn't screw down on that. Oh, okay. And this screws in here, I guess. Let me just turn this so I can see what I'm doing. Where's that? Where's the hole? There we go. Turn it in there. Turn it in there. Turn it in there. Turn it in there. Like that. And then we just... Oh, look at there she goes. And you fill from the bottom here, guys. Yeah. Fill it up until it comes out this top hole. I'm trying to fill from the top. I don't know. This is actually going pretty easy. I hope this 1/4 is enough. I just assumed, I mean, as small as that cavity is, and filled with gears and shafts and everything, that this would be plenty enough. If not, we'll just substitute some off-the-shelf stuff. Make up for the last little bit. How much do we gotta go here? Oh, we're not even halfway yet. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take a month of Sundays. I'll pick up the pace here a little bit. Oh, I hear it. Oh, I see it. There it comes. Can you guys see that? Where'd my screwdriver go? There we go. Plug in the top. That way when you pull the bottom out, not a lot should come out. You know, like when you hold fluid in a straw, you know, hold it, it doesn't come out. That's the idea here. Oh my gosh, look at this all coming out. Why is it doing that? Stop. Alright, as that is dripping, we gotta do something about the fuel delivery hose here. This is, where you see that, this hose is seen the better days. Possibly even these fittings, I don't know. Squeezy bulb is still alright, and these are not cheap. These are like $20, so we're gonna see if we can save on that. What happens in these fittings is it's kind of a waste. You got this whole fitting, and then just that O-ring in the end goes bad, and then the whole fitting is junk. Be nice if those O-rings were replaceable, but it's like nearly impossible to get them out without destroying the fitting. Oh, getting gas all over. Oh yeah, do you hear that? There's a little tear in this O-ring right in there. So this whole fitting is shot because of that one little tear. That's not good on this side for the motor, because it's actually drawing air bubbles into the system. Then you can lean on the motor and she will pop. It'll run lean. Not good for them. Let's see if I can do this. Push towards yourself, so that way if you slip, you're reminded how stupid you are. Fittings for 3/8 holes, and I got 5/16. So that's there. Oh, I forgot to put the hose clamp on. And then you crank these down until you feel it slip, where it strips out and skips over a tooth, and then just bring it up to it just snugs up again. That's how you know it's on there right. I think that is it. All right, I think we are ready. Where's the tilt? There's the tilt. And that, just don't look at that. That's okay. We just keep ignoring that. I think we're ready to go. I think we're gonna do this the right way, and I'm not gonna check spark plugs, fuel filters, oil, none of that. We're just gonna go load up the family, dump this in the water, load everybody up, and we'll just test on her right there. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be good. We won't let anybody down. You know, and in the boat landing, there's people waiting to land their boats, and we're gonna be that guy that dumps his boat in the spring and sits there and look at stuff, prime the bulb. Family's all sitting there looking around, embarrassed. Maybe I'll pop the cover off, look at the motor. Yep, go back. We'll just keep doing that until it gets to that point where it's like Then we load it up and bring it back home. Here we are, heading down the river. Got my son driving. Seems to be going very well so far. I was surprised it started right up. Didn't hesitate or anything at all. Gauges, everything is normal. It's charging its cells. The speedometer, I don't know if it works because it's a pontoon and we're going like 3 miles an hour. Radio works. That's always good. Engine things. It's got oil, water, temperatures. It all looks like it's good. Some kind of really nifty hummingbird fish finder. That works too. It actually is running very quiet. Goes in reverse, forward, everything like it's supposed to. So far so good. We're gonna run it probably for like, I don't know, we'll run around for a few hours and take it back and pop that lower cork on the lower unit and see if any water comes out. Probably not today. I'll let that oil settle for a little bit just to see if otherwise it'll be mixed up. Yeah, it's good to let it sit. So yeah, out here on the Wisconsin River. Enjoy the day. Very nice day. I think it's supposed to be like 75, almost 80 degrees today. Water's like 40, but that's okay. We'll stay out of that for now. That thing is smooth and quiet. All right, fellers. Well, you saw we ran this motor, I don't know, 10, 12, 1,400 hours or something on the river the other day. Spent the whole day on the water, ran it, parked it, went in, ate, let it all sit in the water. So we're gonna crack it open today, see if there's any water in this lower unit. I'm getting older. You can see, even ran her through the sand a little bit just to make sure that everything is good. It's been sitting here. I don't know if you guys can see. I think you guys in closer. Where are you? All right, here's a screw. Can you see? No, you can't. That's right. A little bit of water coming out of the water pump here yet. It's been sitting here in the driveway, tilted up just a little bit, so this screw is at the very, very bottom of the oil cavity here. So if there's any water in there, it should be right above this screw in the drain hole. So we should see it right away. Let's see what's coming out of here. Just oil, not even a drop of water. Nice. Yeah. You see that? It's just oil. Perfect. Smells like oil. So that is fixed. Excellent. Now we can do things, I guess, or something. I don't know. It ran absolutely amazing all day long on the water. It was quiet, runs super smooth. Just an amazing motor. I couldn't be happier with it. So yeah, I guess this one is fixed, and make sure you guys hit wherever that button is, subscribe, here, somewhere along the bottom here. Hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. Until the next video, have a great day, evening, night, morning, whenever you're sitting here watching videos, standing there, whatever you're doing. Have a good one.